Everybody, welcome to another episode of How Many Times Can TMQ Stumble Over His Words, and how many takes does it take to do a video. Alright, so we've got SVS coming up, and one of the things in there is, as you can see on phase 2, gather resources in the wilderness. You also have to do this during the Hall of Chiefs, and I think there's two other events that require this. So there's a little buff that you can use to gather more resources, and I'm going to show you how to use that and you get the most out of gathering resources. So the first thing you're going to want to do is over in the upper left hand corner, you see a little arrow pointing up. You'll click that, and this brings up your city bonuses. What you'll do is you click the option on the right for growth, and then under gathering speed, I use the 24-hour one. You can see I've already got it activated. And I just go ahead and use the 24-hour one. It only costs 600 diamonds, and it's a very good investment. So what you'll want to do is time trial it before the event actually starts, so that way you know. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hunt out some gathering tiles, and you want to make sure that only search for full resources is checked. So we're going to go ahead and check for some, let's do some meat, sorry. So we're going to go ahead and gather, and we're going to send those guys out. And I'm going to go ahead and send out the rest of these, because I need some resources. We're going to call that one back. This is great thing to give yourself a little bit of boost. As you guys know, with SVS and with some of the other events out there, every little bit helps. And SVS, you never want to lose that event. Those of you that have lost the event before know exactly what I'm talking about. Those of you that haven't lost it yet or haven't dealt with an SVS, just take my word for it and take the word for other people in your alliance. Don't lose SVS. Alright, so we got one that hit, two that hit. It's going to take a little bit over 7.5 hours to gather that whole tile. So what you want to do is calculate the server time minus 7.5 hours. Server time is a full 24 hours. So what you'll do is you go to a calculator. You'll do 24 hours minus 7.5. 7.5 is equal to the amount of hours it's going to take to gather that whole resource tile. And as you can see, that brings you to 16.5, which will be on the server time-wise, it's 16 hours and 30 minutes. So at 1630, you'll want to make sure that you send out your troops to gather, just like I just did. The same exact thing at 1630. That way when they hit, as you saw, it was 7 hours 36 minutes to gather that whole resource, or that whole tile. So basically 6 minutes past server reset, my troops are going to be marching home with a backpack full of resources, and that's going to give me that much of an edge over whether it be another state or, you know, just people on your own server. And so that's for phase 2. So basically on the day before that, during phase 1 at 1600 hours and a half, or I'm sure I'm botching that, but 1630 hours, I'm going to send out my marches to gather resources, and they're going to come back 6 minutes after server reset full of resources. And you know, if you want to do the math on how many points that'll get, there's tons of other resources out there that can show you the amount of points that you'll get, but every little bit will help. Anyway, I hope this helps you out. Check out the other videos on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, all that other jazz. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks. Bye.